Okay, I had some technical difficulties there, but it should be good to go. I think my settings should all be good. Resolution is right, but it's not really ultra wide, and sadly. It's not. Anyway, we should kick off. So I'm a bit behind schedule today. Good thing I tested it out. Dramatic Labs adventure. The relational slips and events you're about to experience would be shaped by the choices you make. Sure. Cutscene hype.
Captain's log, stardate 57931.4. The crew is restless. After spending too many months piecing our ship back together, we're finally about to venture out on a new mission. And the crew isn't letting this unprecedented ion storm slow them down. They're ready for something different. I know I am. Perhaps more than any of them. Fortunately, nothing ever stays the same. It's entropy, the nature of the universe. Change is inevitable. And while entropy says order gives way to chaos, in this case, change is good. Our new first officer is en route to the Resolute. Jara Rydek. I know she'll bring a welcome dose of new blood to the crew.
I almost missed that. Wait, what's happening?
No problem.
I'm not great with flying.
I think I missed something there.
But these little shuttles are the worst.
Don't close your eyes.
Here's a tip. Don't close your eyes. You'd think that would make it easier, but it only makes it worse. Look out the window, pick a star, and just focus on that.
So I guess I'm this person,
I'll
at
give it
least
a
for
try.
now. Maybe I play multiple people.
Sorry, I'm a little anxious.
No, no problem. That's
hadn't
actually a pretty good
noticed.
answer. So yeah,
I'm on my way to my first assignment. When we get to the starbase, I'm transferring on to the Resolute.
So am I.
we're all going to Resolute. Okay.
It won't be easy for Jara to step in at the 11th hour like this. But if she's half the officer I knew she could become when she was a cadet at Starfleet Academy, she'll be the XO this ship needs right now.
Interesting. So I start off as an XO. Change of station. Checking that security. Oh, okay. I could look around. Can I go no, I can't go back. Welcome to Starbase 128.
A starbase on the very edge of Federation
Probably one that
space.
gets destroyed at some
Long
point.
way from home now.
Or at least attacked. Nice view. That's the Cat Nebula. Cat Head Nebula right there.
Commander? I'm not usually such a nervous wreck, by the way. I actually did well at the academy.
Oh yeah?
Maybe you've heard of the Torvalin test?
Sounds familiar.
It's a tactical simulator that makes the Kobayashi Maru look like a picnic on Pintaris 5. Anyway, I finished in the top 20.
Nobody likes a bragger.
Not just in my class. I mean, all time. In the history of the academy.
Impressive, sure,
So-
sure.
There's that.
Really? That's quite impressive.
That you
Thank
like
you.
to brag.
It was tough. But you know, I set my mind to it and it paid off.
But it's not the Kobayashi Maru. I've never heard of that test before. Oh, you have to
Please
cheat
place
at the
your hand here.
Kobayashi Maru.
Hold it there for
Maybe
a few
he
seconds.
cheated, so we don't know.
Welcome, Commander Rydek.
Good, my cellular structure is
You're
stable.
Jara
It's,
Rydek? You absolutely crushed the Torvalin test. You finished in what, like the top 3?
That would be me.
so he was
Now
bragging.
I'm really.
Yeah,
It's an honor to meet you, Commander.
your bragging is.
Sorry, I didn't realize before.
I mean,
I just
there's always
came off
somebody
the
better
shuttle.
because I was in first
Glad to
place.
be on
Pleasure's
solid
mine,
ground,
though.
so to speak.
The pleasure is mine. Ensign,
Paul Calloway.
good to meet you.
I believe Commander Ermot is expecting you. He's in the concourse just ahead.
See you on the Resolute.
Apparently, I'm in an old uniform. They all have sweaters, though. That's way too hot. I guess maybe not in space. Oh, it's stopping me from leaving. Can I talk to anybody else? No? I'm alive. I'm not human. I'm Bajoran, obviously. Do I? I don't have the ear jewelry.
Good day,
Everyone's just.
Commander.
Why is everyone just running? Just run around. Gotta stay fit. This seems
If
like.
I remember my briefing.
This is a starbase. There's a
Commander
lot of
Ermot
spacious.
is a Bolian, so I'm looking for someone with blue
Yeah,
skin.
Booleans, yeah, they have blue skin. I knew this. But you can still talk to somebody who's lost. Or not.
Are you alright?
Oh, that was a little bit
Yeah,
laggy.
I'm not sure where my departure dock is. The Resolute's gonna leave without me.
No, it won't, because I'm going there
Look here.
too.
The Resolute is leaving from this dock.
Ah, you're right. Nerves must be getting to me.
It says Resolute right on there.
Thanks so much, Commander.
Best and the brightest, eh? I guess that they all went to the Enterprise. They're not here. Oh. They might be a red shirt though. It's fine. I'm sure they'll be fine. What can happen?
Starbase 128 has 4 docks.
Only 4 docks. And you can't find the Resolute of the 4 docks. I mean, you can just look out the window and see, hey, it says Resolute on it, probably. This is very spacious. Crazy.
Excuse me. Have you seen a Bolian around here?
Yes, sir. Right back there, near the replicator.
Oh, okay, I see.
Ah, there he is. Thank you.
Happy to help, Commander.
I just was talking, didn't mean to ask you questions, but hey. Replicated
I'll
meal.
replicate myself a meal once I'm on board.
Replicated meals. You know, those real meals are way better.
Excuse me.
Hey, you hear the Resolute's getting a new first officer?
Someone from the crew got promoted?
Nope.
No, get this. They're from a different ship.
That's usually how it goes, though,
How
isn't
the
it?
crew feel about that?
That makes them look desperate. Is their crew that bad?
Yeah, not a good look.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not having warm and fuzzies about the crew if they can't even find the ship. Okay, I guess nobody else is left to talk to. Commander Ermot. Or you're the commander, I'm your XO.
Welcome to the edge of the galaxy, Commander Rydek.
I'm Commander Jan Ermot, operations officer on the Resolute.
Oh wait, no, we're the same rank. Never mind.
Commander? I hope there wasn't too much trouble getting here. This storm isn't making anything easy for us
It was
right
fine.
now. I know conditions are less than ideal at the moment.
It was perfectly fine. No trouble at all.
I'm glad to hear it.
I mean, I didn't see any trouble, so yeah, it was fine.
We're
A
grateful
little bumpy,
you were able
but
to come fill our first officer vacancy at such short notice. From everything I've read and everything I've heard, we're lucky you were available to us.
people not eating their food on
Coming
the plates.
from a Premier Starship
Well, it's replicated. Who would want to eat that?
to our little research vessel.
You have high expectations.
I'll do my best to live up to expectations.
Oh, I'm sure you'll do just fine. And if I can help in any way, just let me know.
So, hey, Grivix. It's a lot of dialogue right now. How's it going? There's our ship. Look, it has a number right on it. Probably the name as well.
The USS Resolute.
Pretty fancy looking. I have no idea what
She
year
may
this
not
takes
look like
place.
much compared to the bigger ships, but as far as science vessels go, she can more than hold her own.
It's like Stardate
And
5-3
she doesn't
something.
look
I
so
don't.
bad considering 6 months ago she was nearly cracked in half, venting plasma, fighting for her life.
It was an accident?
Equipment malfunction. An accident suggests fault, but no one's to blame.
Unless it was sabotage.
It was a planned test, but the warp core was pushed beyond its limits.
Well,
It
sabotage.
destabilized the dilithium,
Accidental.
there was a runaway reaction, and the warp bubble deformed. We thought we could reach a higher resonant frequency, but it was more than she could handle. Cost us our
Who's
first
the
officer
engineer?
and 22 of our crew.
Wait, somebody died?
At the
First
end of the
time.
day, we're all responsible for each other. That's what it means to be a crew.
Sorry for your loss. It's a high price. I
I
mean,
can't even begin
too
to
cold.
imagine what that must have been like for you. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you. It does weigh heavy. There are some things you can't forget.
I care about the crew. I am the XO.
It's been 6 months. What's the attitude among the crew now?
Unsettled. But I hope that a new mission will help them move forward. If not, move on. Listen. I realize you've known Captain Solano for quite some time. And I'm glad you're ready to bring your best. But I should warn you that when the captain announced you would be the new first officer, there were those who felt it was a mistake, that he should have promoted from within. So you might want to tread lightly at first.
I can earn their trust.
Until they come to value your contributions as much as he does.
Trust is earned, and it sounds like I have my work cut out for me. But I plan on winning them over.
I don't doubt that. I just figured it was better to know what you're walking into.
Of course.
Starfleet has assigned us a high-priority mission to the Hotari region. I'll let the captain brief you on board. I know he's eager to see you.
Will we be mission ready in time?
We have every intention. The crew has been working around the clock to get the ship ready. There's still so much to do.
No, I have to hold it. Okay. It's not obvious. But at least it's showing, like, up.
Stuck.
So I play different people, I guess.
I got just the thing.
Plasma torch? That looks like a plasma torch. Oh, that's a cool little mini game. Perfect. That looks old. Yeah, that's ancient, ripped apart. And I have to turn it the other way, I'm guessing. Okay.
Is that?
Why was it not just a twist like the other time? Weird that they changed it up. The lower decks. Got some cargo.
I thought the thing was totally fried.
It is.
Nice work, Carter.
Nothing to it, Millie.
And not a moment too soon. The boss wants us down in engineering. Like, now.
Okay, follow the engineering. I want to look around though. So this is something about enter. Oh, I could change my people? No, I don't want to exit the game. I just want to resume. Oh look, I could talk to people.
Hey Diaz, have you seen a hyperspanner around here? I last saw it near the shuttle, Ptarmigan.
I'll let you know.
Come on!
Side quest is like picking up somebody's hydrospanner? Seriously? Which one's this one?
That's not where that goes. Maybe we can figure out where you're supposed to be.
Was that the person that just asked for it? Is that a hydrospanner? I'm not sure what a hydrospanner
Carter
looks like.
Diaz!
Oh,
Is this it?
Hey, there it is.
Oh, that is it.
You're a lifesaver, Diaz.
Well, I don't know about that, but I try.
I swear I didn't put it there.
Hurry
Okay.
up!
I mean, do I need to hurry up? Because I have things to do here. I have the hydrospanners to find. Well, it's found. And I have people to potentially talk to. What is this?
Corrosion in there was pretty extreme. Nothing I couldn't handle,
Time's a
though.
wasting.
Yeah, it's not wasted if I'm helping people.
Everything okay?
I dropped a non-ferrous connector between the coils. Gonna have to remove a few of them to find it, and then...
Ooh, then another hour of recalibrating. Ouch. I'll leave you to it.
And don't drop your tools in there, and if you turn it on, it'll
Diaz,
cause an
can you give us some
explosion.
help with the transporter?
Of course you need my help. Are you
What's
gonna
the
teach
problem?
me how to use
We
it?
need to test this cargo transporter. I've never been that great with the signal plotting.
I got it. No problem.
Select waypoints. Create a path through the Ionic interference. Lose the stability. Yellow bar indicates the stability of your path. When full, you will succeed. Use mouse to aim and hold. Select and drag. Okay, it's just like plotting a course. Easy.
No sweat.
How can you not do that? That's like the simplest thing ever.
Hey, buddy, get off the pad!
Oh, never mind. Goodbye. This crew is awful. They need all the help they can get.
Don't tell Chovak.
Not a word.
I mean, that wasn't me. That person was just standing there. On the pad like a deer in the headlights. Okay, I think I solved everyone's problems for now, maybe. Created one potentially, but that was that person's fault for standing on the friggin' pad that we're teleporting things onto. Oh. Random probes. It gets strong. Okay.
Ow! Oh. Oh, these are heavier than they look. Makes more sense than zero G.
What the heck? Guy's just sitting in the corner.
So clean I can see myself. And you know what? Not half bad.
Not half good either then, I guess. Gotta lift more of those until you get strong. Why is this one leaning? That's can't be. You just saw how heavy they are. That's a safety violation right there. Somebody's gonna get that on their foot and have to go to medbay.
A place for everything and everything
At least I
in
like
its place.
stop getting nagged by like, hey, come on. There's so much to explore. Now we can go on. There we go. Solved everyone's problems for now. Don't ask about that one. Oh,
Hey, don't let LT catch you blocking the corridors like this.
busy? You don't.
We'll clear it up once we finish the delicate work. Good looking out, though.
Busy sitting around.
Good to see her fully operational.
I say that, but I'm also wasting
If she
time.
breaks, we'll just fix her.
I just fixed her. Okay, well, hopefully it doesn't break. I'm sure it's gonna break.
Gives you access to the tubes behind cargo storage all the way to the turbo lift.
Not after the retrofit. Bulkhead cuts it off at section 2. New computer reroutes.
Why are they blocking all the hallways?
Hey, need any help?
Probably.
Okay. Good luck.
I guess not. Okay. I can't run anymore. We're almost there. To the left, and the left goes straight to the bridge. Is that we're going to the bridge? Oh, engineering.
I heard the new XO just arrived. Won't be long before we get underway. I just hope whatever Chovak called us down for, it's something good. I can never tell with him. I'd rather not end up degaussing plasma.
You're not up for it? We can handle anything.
Being upside down makes me queasy.
You and me working together, we can tackle anything he throws at us.
Your optimism is positively contagious.
That's the point. So is negativity. You gotta be positive.
Looks like we got here before.
Lieutenant Commander Chovak.
We were just looking for you, Commander.
Petty Officers Ed Solar, Diaz. I was beginning to think you would be late. We are all hands on deck right now, which means if you are not at your post at the appointed time, I do not have someone to replace you. A point I have been forced to make to Petty Officer Ed Solar on
Almost late
repeated
is
occasions.
not late. Okay, sorry for the delay, I guess, then, sure.
Apologies for the delay, Commander.
I do not want your apologies. Simply see to it that it does not happen again.
So, I don't suppose you wanted us down here to check in.
Does not have a
before we
sense of
go off
humor.
duty?
So number one was not gonna work.
Equip yourselves in EV suits to work on the exterior of the hull. I need you to tune the structural integrity field for optimal performance.
And snarky is not the
Subspace
right answer,
distortions
so-
and ionic interference we are experiencing are preventing the proper calibration. But this ship must be ready to depart shortly, despite the storm. The precise nature of these disturbances are not fully understood.
We'll be ready.
But many systems have been affected by the wide band of emissive activity.
Whatever it throws at us, we'll be ready. We've got the best chief engineer in the fleet.
I am a Vulcan, Mr. Diaz.
Flattery does
Flattery
not.
is not necessary. All that I require is that you do your job. Right now, that entails critical preparations, because long-range sensors show that these disturbances will be more severe at our destination, the Hotari system. You have your orders. Do not delay.
Yes,
Roger
Commander
that.
Chovak. All hands on deck.
What's that?
All hands on deck. That's what Chovak said. You know what that means? It means this ship isn't ready to go out, and the brass know it. So they're throwing every warm body at it. And they're going to leave on
So it's on
schedule.
us.
Consequences be damned.
It all comes down to us, Nelly. We're the ones who will get it ready.
I know what we can do. But this isn't just any old refit or any old relaunch.
Whoa.
Excuse me.
A lot of new faces coming on board. It's gotta be tough coming as a replacement. That's for sure.
Give them a chance.
They seem all right. Something that happened 6 months ago while they were off on another ship? Well, that's nothing to hold against them.
Yeah, you're right. I guess getting a little new blood on board doesn't hurt. Hold on. Now there's an old face I didn't expect to see again. Hey, Miranda!
You weren't gonna leave without me, were you?
Miranda, you're here?
We thought you were staying on the Adirondack.
Transfer came in at the last minute, so I figured I'd slum it on this bucket of bolts. Looks like you got her back together pretty nicely. I wasn't sure what to expect.
Welcome aboard.
I'm gonna take the high road here, pretend you didn't say that, and welcome you aboard.
He's a better diplomat than I am.
He still owes me a bottle of Saurian brandy. Don't think I forgot.
Oh yeah, it's coming back to me now.
Maybe Carter can rustle up that bottle and we can give you a proper welcome. As soon as we wrap up this...
Yeah, I think we have work to do right now. Got his spacewalk now.
Here, let me help you.
Thanks.
So what's the word? Are you back in the security rotation?
Yep. Still running with the usual suspects.
Whoa!
Good to go. See you on the other side.
Activating magnetic souls.
We gotta do some repairs. I'm gonna walk outside. Should be a nice view. Way better view than from inside.
Let's go.
I don't even know where we just walked out of though. Because there's a door and then we walked over an edge. That doesn't quite make... Oh, it's kind of like a little outcrop like this, but we didn't walk very far. The Resolute. Okay, so that's our ship. It says the name right on it. And back to the XO.
Captain Solano should be here momentarily. You'll have to forgive me, I don't know much about Kobleods. But my understanding is you need a steady supply of duridium to keep your cell structure stabilized, or bad things start to happen.
Oh, wait.
And we have plenty of duridium in sickbay, so there's no risk of running out.
Thank you.
I'm not a
Feel
Bajoran.
free to make yourself at home. And help yourself to whatever you like from the replicator.
Even though I look pretty Bajoran. Okay, so I'm a Kobuloid? Never even heard of that. It's been a while since I watched Trek. Like, I forgot that one species with the parasite that's kind of, well, symbiote. It's not really a parasite. Model train.
He's still got a
Old.
thing for trains. The warp engines of their day, apparently.
Yeah, just help transportation across continents. Whoa.
I can't believe he keeps this around. Don't even know where mine is.
That's something good to have it on a shelf, I guess. There's a good old replicator right in here.
Just a sip of something.
Ooh, tea, because that's what I'm drinking right now. I don't know what Rectigino is.
Decisions.
Earl
Tea.
Grey? Hot? It just says tea? What is just tea? I'm drinking an Nepal White. Warm.
That's lovely.
Maybe lukewarm by now, but it is very nice. Magically gone.
Jara Rydek. Last time I saw you, it was graduation from the academy. You'd already secured one of the most prestigious assignments possible. And you were burning with enough ambition to fuel 7 trips around the Necrit Expanse.
It's good to see you again, Captain.
I could not be happier to have you on the Resolute. My only regret is that we couldn't provide you with a warmer welcome. The arrival of a first officer to her new ship deserves a bit of fanfare.
Man, this is good enough for me.
But, unfortunately, we've had our hands full with the refit.
That would be totally unnecessary. I don't need any pomp and circumstance.
You've been here all of 5 minutes, and already you're trying to make us more efficient. I like it.
You need the help,
Sure you've
apparently.
heard. We've had a rough
You have a
go of it
lot
these
of
last 6 months.
issues lately.
The ship suffered some damage, but not nearly as much as the crew.
I don't know the specifics.
You'll have to forgive me. I don't really know the details.
Starfleet has been kind enough to keep the story contained, probably because they want to protect me. But I don't mind telling you.
Those lightning flashes
We
look
were on the verge of a major scientific
crazy good
breakthrough.
on this monitor.
A quantum leap forward in warp core technology. 10,000 teradynes per second. The ability to travel at a sustained rate of speed
10,000?
longer,
That is crazy,
faster
yeah.
than we ever dreamed. What would have been the
I'd rather go
crowning
up
achievement
to
of my career? Right there.
14K or
our
something in some
grasp.
episodes, but
Until it all went so horribly wrong. We pushed her too hard, and a warp core malfunction overloaded the system, creating a pressure gradient way beyond what the ship can handle. It was heartbreaking. We lost some of our best people. As captain, I have to take full responsibility. It was my decision to make, and I have to live with the consequences.
we have to move on.
You have to look to the future. You can't dwell on the past, on things you can't
You
change.
made the decision. You have to live with
Nothing
it.
that can be done
Yeah,
about
exactly.
it now. In my defense, I will say I might have avoided the whole ordeal if my senior staff had been willing to trust me. There was a lot of pushback from my former XO. And I think that cost me his confidence. I don't want you to pull any punches. Certainly not on my account. But once we decide on a course of action, I need everyone to fully commit to the mission. Anything short of that,
I mean,
just
that
won't
makes
work.
total sense. Yeah, you can't have.
And that's when things start to go sideways.
Yeah, you can't have any like second guessing.
This is your ship, and you are the captain. So as far as I'm concerned, whatever you say, goes.
That's the kind of support I'm looking for.
Because he takes the
Look,
risk.
I'll be blunt. We can't afford another mistake. Or at least, I can't. I feel like my career is hanging in the balance here.
But so are people's lives.
We need a
so-
win. Something to restore the crew's confidence.
I understand.
On a more positive note, Starfleet has tasked us with what they're calling a mission of the highest priority. Escorting a senior diplomat to Hotari space. Two previously peaceful and otherwise non-aggressive civilizations now find themselves on the brink of all-out war.
So it's a peacekeeping mission.
I see it as a golden opportunity to not only prove what the Resolute and her crew are truly capable of, but also a mission for which we're uniquely qualified.
Why is that?
This Ionic storm. Our long-range sensors suggest it's several orders of magnitude stronger than anything on record. A total anomaly like nothing we've seen before. And you'll never guess where it leads.
Hatari.
Exactly.
So they're creating it,
Very
most
nearly in
likely.
the precise location where we're headed. Where I imagine the interference will be exponentially greater.
Is the crew
But the
prepared?
diplomat will brief us on the details at the rendezvous.
I don't care about the
But are
diplomat.
we prepared to embark on the mission?
It seems like we're
I'd
not.
like to think that's true. I have my doubts.
Yeah, that's a problem.
But I don't want to get ahead of myself. I expect we'll have some rough sledding when we arrive, so I need you to prepare the crew for the worst. There's just one more thing I want to clarify up front. The metric that for me will be the ultimate measure of your success.
What is it?
If after serving as my first officer, you don't one day find yourself with a ship of your own, then I will consider it my personal failure.
Well, kind of makes
What might
sense.
happen is entirely up to you. But it goes without saying. You have
I
my
would be
full
honored.
support.
It's been a dream of mine since before I can remember. So I would be honored to become a captain someday.
As long as you're willing to do the work, you have my promise. I'll do everything in my power to see that it happens.
Thank you.
Come, let me introduce you to the crew.
Oh, can I look around more? He just walks off. I don't think I can, but I'm just gonna check. No, I can't. Unfortunately, wish I could run. I can't. I'm stuck walking. Likes this quartz, okay. Of course, I have to go the opposite way. I don't think there's anything else around. Probably not. I'm stuck walking super slow, so I'm not going to go too far away. They're smart. Oh, the bridge is right there. I like the blue. They're very calm. It's a very calm color.
Everyone, if I could have your attention for a moment. I'd like to introduce Commander Jara Rydek, our new first officer.
Nobody seems to be
Some quick
too
introductions.
enthusiastic.
This is Lieutenant Handar, our helmsman, one of the best in the business.
One of?
Well, what he lacks in humility, he more than
Oh,
makes
he's
up for in
Bajoran.
ability.
A pleasure to
Okay.
meet you, Commander.
Likewise.
Next, we have Commander Westbrook, our chief science officer. I've come to rely on his expert counsel on a regular basis.
Pleasure.
Commander Rydek, it is such an honor to meet you.
This is our tactical officer, Lieutenant Bedrosian, who's been looking forward to meeting you for about as long as I can remember.
Apparently I have a fan?
I've been following your career for quite some time.
That's a little creepy, but
I look
okay.
forward to learning as much as I can from you.
That's very kind. The honor is mine. That's very kind.
That's very kind of you to say. I'm happy to be here.
Well, I have to admit, one of the reasons I've followed your career is because you're part Kobliad. Because
Part
of what you've
Kobliad?
overcome. Starfleet stands up for people who can't defend themselves. And you were one of those people once. But since then, you've done so much to protect others who need it. I really admire that. So, you've been something of an inspiration to me. Not that I've done anything close to what you've done, but you definitely set a standard to strive for.
I'm glad.
You really do know a thing or two about me. I'm glad I could inspire you, but it's important to chart your own path.
Thanks. You can count on it.
You could inspire others, yeah. Do your own thing.
And then, of course, you've already met Commander Ermont. Please do everything you can to make
I have
Commander
no idea what
Rydek
he
feel at
does.
home here.
Oh, he's
I'll
the
be on
comms
Starbase.
person, I think, or something.
Have an urgent meeting with the Starbase commander to get our authorization to get underway. If they drag their feet any longer, we won't make our rendezvous. The bridge is yours.
Okay, good. Talk to people now more.
The
Helm.
Helm. The Resolute is a refitted Centaur class, meaning it's capable of quick maneuvers. Can't wait to see what she can do.
It's a fast ship. Maneuverable.
Science station. The Resolute is a science vessel, primarily. Might explain Commander Westbrook's attitude. I'll have to speak with him later. So many decks. Full of crew that are now my responsibility.
Yeah, it's a pretty big ship. How long is it? I don't think it has measurements on there. Tactical?
Tactical station. Hopefully a diplomatic mission won't require we use
I'm
our
sure
weapons
it
much.
will require
When
it.
comes to
They
that,
always do.
We'll be ready.
Most of the time, anyway, they do. Not maybe not always. What is that? That's my chair. Okay. Can I not see? Okay, yes, I can see yours. Operations. Okay, you do operations.
Staffing, supplies. There's a lot to keep track of on a starship. Good thing we have Commander Ermont.
Okay, and what's the one up here? I couldn't look at this one. You're the co-pilot, I guess. Navigator, maybe, or something. Okay, I could. Oh, this is my chair, but I'm not sitting in my chair at the moment.
The first officer's seat. My seat. Right now, though, I need to fill in for Captain Solano.
Okay, I think I'm done here. Wait, did I? No, I didn't look at this one. Communications. This is comms.
Communications. Keeps us in contact internally and with other vessels.
Yeah, wait, what's the... Hollow?
Tactical hollow dais. Just like they've got on the Excelsior.
Just shows our ship. I wonder if there's anything else I'm missing. I just looked down and I saw them. Like, what the heck? Easy to miss.
Commander,
Engage.
Chief
Wait.
Engineer Chovak needs to lower the
Punch it.
structural integrity field.
No, that's taken
He's
too.
sent a crew out to recalibrate the emitters in response to the danger posed by the storm.
They're still waiting.
We just need your go-ahead.
Okay, that's cool. I could turn around. Do it.
Mission granted.
Lowering structural integrity field. Now.
Entering maintenance mode. Condition.
Alerts.
The storm is getting worse.
Looks like they turned off the SIF.
Great. Let's get to that emitter.
Really, what's our catchphrase? Hit it, I guess? Bop it? Warp.
Every time we're out here, I half expect to see her in pieces again.
She's still got some scars on her. It adds character.
When I joined Starfleet, all I wanted was a ride out of town.
I guess you got out
But
of
this
town.
isn't exactly how I pictured it.
On the outside of the ship?
No. Sometimes it feels like we're just part of the machinery. Don't you want more than that? I mean, Starfleet is noble and all, but it's still a machine.
I'm more than that.
A massive, massive machine.
I am more than that. And so are you. You wanted to get away. I enlisted because I didn't want to wait years just to get out and see the galaxy. I wanted to go somewhere. See new worlds. Look up at a sky no one's ever seen before. Just because I'm cranking a hyperspanner up in a Jeffries tube today doesn't mean that's all I'll ever be. Diaz to Commander Chovak. We are at the SIF emitter.
Acknowledged. You may proceed with the recalibration.
Okay, gotta do repairs. They don't repair themselves. Communication tool, wait, what?
Beginning recalibration.
Recalibration.
Careful. Too much action and harmonics will deflect the alignment.
I need to get it to the middle, is that the idea?
Looks good. That wasn't so hard.
I didn't know what I was doing, but I did. I figured it out. Why is it beeping? Can't be good.
Commander Westbrook, right? Chief Science Officer.
You remembered my name and my rank. Impressive.
You're being sarcastic?
Yes, I'm the Chief Science Officer, and I have the dubious honor of being the most senior officer on this bridge. I know this ship inside and out. Better than just about anyone.
You think highly of yourself. I get it. You wanted the job that
very highly of yourself.
You wanted the exo
With
job.
Good reason. I'm curious, though. A Kobliad, or half in your case, is an odd choice for first officer, given your vulnerable condition and all. But if, as an example, we found ourselves in a hostile situation, and you were suddenly incapacitated because you needed an infusion, what would happen then?
my ring?
You'd leave Captain Solano without an XO. Granted, that would be a worst-case scenario.
Thanks for your concern, but not
outside
really.
the realm of possibility.
That's very kind of you to be concerned about my well-being. But you don't need to trouble yourself on my account. I'll be fine.
Well, I wouldn't say I was concerned, just curious, that's all. Listen, can I be blunt, Commander?
I see no reason to stop now.
To stop.
Commander Sutherland, your predecessor, was one of the best first officers in all of Starfleet. His record was impeccable and his reputation was without equal.
Except
I
he
mean
screwed
no
up.
disrespect, but the shoes you're stepping into are almost impossible to fill. He was loved by the crew. And
I'm not trying to fill his shoes.
Friends. So I can only hope that you'll live up to expectations.
I don't think I could ever replace Commander Sutherland. And it would be a mistake to even try.
Seeing as Captain Solano is on the starbase, let me give you an update on this ion storm we're flying into. It's unusual, unlike anything I've ever seen. At the moment, I can't tell you if the Resolute will shrug it off or if we're putting ourselves at risk. However, if we learn more about its patterns, its nature, we can come up with a scientific countermeasure. Just a moment.
What have you been doing this entire time?
We've got a massive energy wave inbound.
On screen.
Tracing its trajectory.
Starbase docking clamps are holding.
The storm's emissions are fluctuating, coming in waves. And if my projections are right, we're about to get hit by a wide-band burst of ionic energy. Like a tsunami.
I'm reading power abnormalities.
Red alert.
Red alert.
Aye.
No hesitation.
Evacuating main gangway and retracting.
Putting sensor visualization on screen.
With the structural integrity field shut down, we can't take a direct hit.
Time to impact. 1 minute.
Shield systems are severely impacted. We have limited protection.
I need every available solution. What are our options?
We can weaken the impact of the storm with a deflector pulse.
There's a better way.
I'm sending all auxiliary power to the deflector dish.
Send the aux power to the shields. We can't reactivate the entire shield bubble, but it's a directional threat. So we can orient all we have towards the wave. You have to believe me.
We only get one shot at this. We can't afford to get it wrong.
That's
Shields
right,
up.
which is why we need to send power to
I like
our
the idea of
shields.
deflector pulse.
Bedrosian, get those shields up.
Rerouting power to shields. Stand by. I need a heading. We've only got one shot.
Understood. On my
Shields seem
command.
a bit more reliable, maybe?
Heading locked.
Raise shields.
This is it!
All hands, brace for impact.
Did I choose poorly? Deflector pulse is always the right answer.
What happened?
We have experienced a surge of radiation.
Oh, you don't say.
This radiation supercharged the plasma, forcing it to backflush through the system and creating a dangerous imbalance.
And you blow out every primary system on the ship.
Just tell us where you need us.
I need you to traverse the hull to the access port to recalibrate the port nacelle plasma regulator.
No, good thing we're already outside, right? But the ship is intact at least, so I mean, that's good.
We've reached the first access point.
For now.
Understood. Do you see the override for the level 1 failsafe circuits?
Affirmative.
Engage the override. It should allow us to stop the EPS flow to the warp engine without triggering an automatic core shutdown.
Failsafe override engaged.
Are you sure? I am registering some crosstalk in the bypass circuit.
We need to route the signals so they don't interfere with each other.
Okay, how do I do this? They just swapped positions? Okay, that's weird.
Diaz to Resolute. The failsafes are temporarily disabled. Moving on to the EPS regulator.
Heads up, Carter.
What is that?
One of the discharges coalesced.
It's coming right toward us.
Is it a sentient?
I'm gonna try to disrupt it with my phaser.
So we gotta climb up the pylon.
Guess the phaser
Not
works.
that there's really an up, but you know.
Use my phaser to clear a path. There's nothing in their way. She's in my way. Oh, you're actually helping me. Nice, okay. These things just can't, you can't win. They just keep coming out.
We're almost to the regulator.
I guess I don't need to worry about the ones beside me. Why is there a timer?
We're at the regulator. Opening the access panel.
I am now halting the EPS flow to the port nacelle. We have little time before it causes an overload in the engine. You must work efficiently.
Haven't I always been doing that?
EPS manifold adjusters reset to neutral.
Okay. I'm not sure what I need to be doing here. All of them need to be aligned.
The EPS lines to the port warp
There we
engine are
go.
back in balance. Almost done. Once I cycle the manifold nozzles, Chovak can...
That's not good. That's definitely not good. Why are things exploding? Debris is coming in.
Get down!
Down. Yep.
Diaz to bridge. We just lost the docking clamp. We've got a lot of debris coming down. Hull vibrations, too. We can't finish the EPS regulation in these conditions. Please advise.
We have to release the ship from that other docking clamp or the hull will be ripped apart.
There's a problem. The clamps are supposed to disengage automatically in an emergency, but it's not working.
Not working.
They gave us
What
the
are our
clamps.
options?
The docking clamps are fitted with exploding bolts for an emergency release.
We've got crew out there. That'd be like setting off a bomb next to them.
Maybe there's another way.
Starbase is hailing us.
Put him through.
Resolute, the remaining mooring arm is failing. You need to disengage from the starbase now. The damage to the station will be catastrophic.
We're exploring our options.
The docking clamp isn't functioning. We're exploring our options.
The option is to detonate the emergency release.
Commander, hear me out. Reverse the polarity of the hull, which theoretically will repel the docking clamps.
And repel the engineering crew right off the hull into the storm.
This is Captain Solano. Put me on screen.
Go ahead. Captain, we have a situation.
Commander, what are you doing? Blow the bolts on the docking clamp.
The captain doesn't know the whole story.
I'm giving you an order.
It's not that simple.
All due respect, sir, it's a more complex situation than when you
Jara,
disembarked.
I need you to do the right thing. We can't have this go sideways before we even leave for the mission.
The captain made himself quite clear.
They're gonna get hammered with debris out there. Reverse the polarity.
Well, they're getting thrown into space if I reverse the...
There is protocol.
Yeah, okay, well, we're gonna blow the bolts. He made the
We're going to blow the
decision.
bolts. Starbase, stand by. We'll warn our crew to take cover.
Get it done, Rydek.
Reverse the polarity is probably the right answer, but...
Repair crew, this is Acting Captain Jara Rydek.
Not
Be
my
advised,
call.
You have more micro debris incoming. Find cover.
Cover? Neely, get into the
I could just QTE.
It's armored with duranium.
But what about you?
He could dodge. Yeah, there's another one right there.
Maybe we can both fit behind this.
I pressed it, come on. There's another access panel.
They've blown the other docking clamp. Hurry!
Of course, we have those things coming at us, too.
Plasma imbalance is reaching critical condition. We are moments from primary system failure.
I got it.
Do I have to reset? Come on, move. Why is it stuck? I think I got it. Oh, she got hit. No. Gotcha.
I got you.
I think she's
Hey,
out.
Officer Edselar's hurt and unconscious. I'm gonna have to tow her back to the airlock.
Mr. Diaz, the situation has changed. You are at risk of triggering a substantial electromagnetic arc if you approach the main hull the way you came.
But Commander, the way we came is the nearest airlock.
There is an auxiliary hatch near you on the far end of the pylon. You must bring Miss Edselar there to access the interior.
Okay, let's move. Gotta move.
Go in there now.
Yeah, debris still incoming. Why is debris still incoming? This makes no sense. Why is the debris just going in a circle? Can we speed this up? Nope, apparently not. That doesn't look like a way
The
in.
auxiliary hatch.
Okay, she's back conscious. That's good. We gotta move. Stop staring at things and start moving. Oh, it is like an opening.
You go first.
No, you're the one that's
Let
injured.
me save your neck this time.
Well, let's not just stop arguing, just move.
Me on this.
You come right after.
Get in there.
I'm not gonna argue because we need to move. Now's not the time to argue. Just move. Doesn't matter who goes first. Just both get in there. Of course your thing got stuck. Come on! Of course. I think she's still alive, potentially. Hopefully. Her helmet got cracked, but she did end up inside.
We're in.
So hopefully she's not dead.
They're safe. Bringing the SIF fully online.
Do it.
Price of duty.
Carter!
I'm not the one you need to worry about.
But that's a lot.
Here, let me help you.
You got a little cooked. Oh, scorched.
Medical. We've got one wounded at my location.
But she's really tough if she has that symbiote. She's really hard to kill.
We'll see you at sickbay.
Status report.
The repair crew made it inside. EPS flow is back to nominal levels. The SIF is back up.
How does this affect mission readiness, Mr. Ermot?
The Resolute suffered damage from the exploding bolts. But we've successfully moored to the station. The ship is secure. Our systems are coming back online, but we have a fair amount of repairs before we're ready to go.
Put a halt on the roll-off of Starbase engineering staff. We have a schedule to keep. Send updates to my ready room. Commander Rydek, with me. What a debacle. I was caught with my pants down. Not even on my own ship when the wave hit. I had to go running out of the Starbase commander's office just to... But you followed my order. I appreciate that. Hell, I'm relieved.
You are the captain. It was your call to make.
You're the captain of this ship?
Even though I was
You give
technically
orders, and I'll execute
acting at the time.
That's
So
right.
it should have been my call, but whatever.
But you see my problem, don't you? They were all against me on that bridge. And they were ready to go against my orders. I'm not blind to it.
You're wrong, but
I don't speak for
I'll
anyone
back you
else.
up.
But you know I'm in your corner. You're my captain, and I'll stand behind you.
Well, it takes more than the two of us to run this ship, unfortunately.
If the reverse polarity, they'd
Drink.
float out to space, so I guess you could use one.
Sure. Thank you.
Your predecessor, Commander Sutherland, is missed. But for all the adoration of the crew, including the senior staff, I just couldn't rely on him. He would question.
That's why this ship has so many problems.
I sometimes think they still hear his voice. That sort of thing is a way of lingering.
This is a fresh start.
You can't argue with a ghost.
Captain, perhaps you and the crew would be better served if you look at this mission as a fresh start.
You can never really leave the past behind.
If we don't, you can never move forward.
Now, this won't be easy. But I'm glad I have you here with me.
Glad to be here, Captain.
And despite it all, we got our final Starfleet clearance to depart. So if you'll fetch Mr. Ermot, we'll knock out the final details of any outstanding repairs, and then we'll set out for Hotari.
Yes, sir.
Drink. Not gonna finish it. I'll come back for that later. The rest of that. I guess it doesn't really matter.
Here we go.
Alaska is a tall ship. Well, nobody died, so that was good, I guess. I don't know, people probably could have died there, I imagine. Or at least got lost and had to need to
All
get a pickup.
departments reporting full mission readiness. We've got our full complement on board.
This is my favorite moment, right now.
The start of a new mission is always full of possibility.
The Orion Syndicate could sell it as a drug.
Don't let the Admiralty hear you say that.
Captain on the bridge.
Sit. Sit, everyone. You all know, I'm not big on speeches. We're embarking on the first mission since our refit. Let's make it a good one. Disengage docking clamps.
Why did the docking clamps fail, though? That makes no sense. Has the ion storm affected them?
Docking clamps released.
Thrusters ahead, Mr. Handar.
I guess now we know what to expect with the ion storm. It's gonna be worse. Cutscene hype?
That should do it. Set a course for the Hotari system. Prepare to go to Warp 8.
Aye, Captain.
You know what? You take this one.
Oh, I gotta do my catch one. Hit it. Do it. I guess do it's closest thing. I said do it as well.
Helm. Do it.
Engage is taken. Where's my hit it though? Hit it is not taken as far as I know. Though it is kind of like punch it though. But... Can I look at anything else? Why didn't I sit down before he...
Easy. Thank you. I'm fine. Really,
You don't look so good.
Need my dose already? My ring? It's low?
I have to get to sickbay.
Go.
Commander, help me get her inside.
Well, that was quite a scare. A few minutes more and it would have been one of the shortest tenures on record for a first officer.
Is that the engineer that was out on the hull?
That storm did a real number on her, but she'll live. Just needs rest. You should worry about yourself. Your deridium levels got dangerously low and destabilized your cell structure.
This is definitely one of the more memorable first days I can think of.
My name is Dr. Aram Duval, Chief Medical Officer. To be honest, I've never met a Kobliad before. You're...
rare. I know.
I was going to say special. Your people's numbers have dwindled, despite the Federation's efforts to find a more readily available alternative to the deridium you need to survive. Yet you joined Starfleet, and managed to thrive. I imagine the responsibility must be overwhelming. Maybe even a burden at times.
Can be difficult.
I don't like the attention it brings. Being treated differently than everyone else.
But you are different. That's not something you can change.
True. But sometimes it makes it even more difficult than it already is.
And don't worry, I won't treat you like a science experiment. I just do the science and leave the experiments to Solano.
You don't agree with his methods?
I don't agree with his definition of acceptable risks. Not when the lives of your crew are at stake. My professional opinion is that the accident took a toll. More than he's willing to admit. He's overstressed, operating in the pressure cooker of his own mind. Which is never a good headspace when the lives of your crew are at stake. What concerns me is that now he's even further away from the thing he's been chasing his entire career. Breakthrough discovery. The major innovation. Something he can put his name on. But the more the time passes and the further out of reach it gets, the more risk he'll be willing to take.
I won't let that
People
get out of
become
hand.
blinded by their own ambition.
I hear you. But that's my job, isn't it? To make sure that doesn't happen. And we don't lose sight of the bigger picture.
Which is exactly why I'm so glad you're here. We need you now more than ever. I have to admit, I was concerned when I heard what happened on the bridge. You just followed Solano's orders despite having better options in front of you.
Huh. I guess word travels fast around here.
It's a small ship, and everyone's curious about the new XO. Fortunately, your cell structure's almost completely stabilized. And I'll spare us both the lecture, but I do feel it's my responsibility to remind you, without regular infusions of Duridium, you will not live. It's as simple as that.
Understood.
Then, my work here is done.
Lieutenant Bedrosian.
I came to see if you were okay. We were all pretty worried on the bridge. No one
Thanks
knew
for
what was
coming.
happening.
I'm feeling much better. Thank you. It's just part of who I am.
You don't have to explain to me. I understand. I'm just glad you're okay. You trusted me earlier with the shields, and I appreciated that. I want you to know that I have your back.
Thank you.
Well, shield's held.
Complete the diagnostic sequence, and this shuttle will be cleared for service.
Yes, sir.
The storm in the Hotari region will interfere with our transporters, so we need all available shuttlecraft in working order.
Excuse me, Commander Trovok.
Petty Officer Maris, I will leave you to your work.
I stopped by sickbay and saw Nilly. I figured you'd want to know.
How is she?
Did the doc get her fixed up?
She's stable. But there's something about the storm's radiation that's making it hard to heal the energy burns.
That doesn't sound good.
She's toughing it out. Dr. Duval said she'll be back on duty soon, though.
Come on. I have to run the final diagnostic.
I can't stay long. I've got a long to-do list before we get to Hotari, and things are piling on faster than I can check them off. We're making all our last-minute checks and security, too.
One thing at a time.
Tactical and security are short-staffed.
We'll just have to take things as they come. Control what we can, and roll with the punches.
Next thing you're gonna tell me you're listening to Andorian jazz.
No.
The point is,
Klingon
the
opera.
right time might never come. So, I'm just gonna roll with it. I had a chance to think about this while I was away. Then you and Nilly almost got killed out on the hull. And I thought it was important that I just come out and tell you. Instead of tiptoeing around it. Or worse.
What, number 3? You like me?
This is just a guess, but you like me. Is that what this is?
How'd you know? Must
Kind
have
of
been pretty
obvious.
Which is funny because kind of came out of nowhere for me at first.
Well, it seems...
Well, you know, I was hoping.
I guess that makes this a little easier to say. We've been really good friends for a long time. I want to see if there's more between us than just being friends.
Weird timed for this, but okay. Feel the same way? Sure. Why
You
not?
don't have to explain it. I feel the same way. There is something between us.
So, do you want to find out what that something is? If it's there for you, and it's there for me,
Let's see where it takes us.
why not give it a try?
We don't have to put too much pressure on it. Let's just see where this goes.
I like that. Definitely felt some pressure coming down to see you.
These are uncharted territories.
I'd call it a chemistry experiment. You know, with us.
I'm glad you said something.
I'm just really glad that you said something.
I've seen how you operate. I couldn't wait for you to make the first move. I'm glad too.
So whatever happens next is great with me.
Level 1 diagnostic complete.
I have to get back to that to-do list. They're probably looking for me.
Can't blame them.
I'll be seeing you.
Cast adrift. I have no idea how far I am.
The rendezvous point outside Atari space.
Helm, bring us out of warp.
Dropping to impulse.
Ionic interference surging, Captain.
Oh, that's not good.
Shield integrity holding.
We can take it.
We are at the correct coordinates to meet the shuttle.
Commander Rydek, find us our diplomat, if you will.
Aye, Captain. Let's reduce the noise. Filter out environmental signals. I can manually tune what's left for Federation signal types.
Okay, we got something. A
I've
shuttle?
located the shuttle.
Opening comms.
On screen.
Spinning out of
Shuttle
control.
to
That's
Resolute.
not good.
Shuttle to Resolute. Debris field. Lost maneuvering. Losing.
I can't get it any clearer.
We need
Won't get a
kind of.
transporter lock. It's just not happening.
Power up the tractor beam. We'll pull them directly into the docking bay.
Diaz, you good to run the tractor emitter?
Yes, sir.
Better hurry up. The thing's spinning into the asteroids.
Come on, Diaz. First thing, lock onto the shuttle and stabilize the rotation.
Okay, got it. Like a pro. Watch out, there's a thing coming in the way.
We're pulling in debris.
I'm on it.
Did it. Okay, nothing exploded. Oh, there's something else coming in. What?
That's gonna take out the shuttle.
Where's that coming from?
Here's the bridge. There's a large piece of debris headed for the shuttle.
Blow it up?
The tractor beam can't handle it.
Can our shields take it?
Shoot it.
I believe so.
Oh, what?
Commander Rydek, plot an intercept course.
On it. Here we go. Maneuvering thrusters.
So we're
bearing
gonna use our
53
shields
Mark
as
17,
a
200 meters on an intercept course.
Maneuvering.
as a shield. Interesting choice.
Got it.
Someone's working hard on the bridge.
And just yoink it in. There we go. Easy. Why can't nothing go smoothly? Like,
We got the shuttlecraft on board.
everything goes wrong.
We're on our way down to meet them.
It's never-ending things going wrong.
Terra firma,
Spock.
so to speak.
Ambassador Spock.
Oh, we have to walk towards them? Okay.
The captain will be right down to meet you, sir.
In that case, I will wait for him here.
Yeah, this is obviously like pretty later on in the timeline. Can I not do anything here? Oh, there we go. Welcome aboard. Sorry for the rough landing. He's not fazed by it.
Let me be the first to say, welcome to the Resolute, Ambassador.
Thank you, Petty Officer...
Carter? Carter Diaz. Sir.
I am pleased to meet you, Petty Officer Carter Diaz. It appears I have you to thank for my safe arrival. Your assistance arrived not
I had some help too, of course.
if I may say so.
Well, it wasn't all me. I got some help from upstairs.
A bombastic approach to clearing debris. We thought we were prepared for our arrival in Hotari space, but it is evident my craft was not sufficiently robust for such intense ionic activity.
The storm has been pretty intense.
There was an element that was most unusual.
Centered from where we're going.
Before you came to our aid, our maneuvering thrusters and impulse engines were rendered inoperable. So we attempted a short traversal at warp speed, only to find that we could not achieve warp at all, even though our diagnostics computer showed no faults or anomalies. What do you make of that? When all indications say that warp speed is possible, but in practice,
Faulty
we find it is
computer.
not.
Well, onboard diagnostics can be wrong. I can take a closer look at your shuttle systems to get to the bottom of it.
I would appreciate that.
Take readings, run some additional diagnostic checks, and we'll get to the bottom of this.
Quite logical, Petty Officer Diaz. Thank you.
Ambassador Spock,
Excuse me.
I'm honored to have you aboard. I'd like to get right to it. We're already behind.
This kind of feels like an episode, like, or many episodes kind of strung together. I guess each one is supposed to be kind of like a short episode. Provocation to war. I really like the feeling of this. It's definitely feel like you're in it.
Ambassador Spock, my senior staff. It's not every day that a captain gets to welcome a Starfleet legend aboard.
You flatter me, Captain Solano. But legend implies the past tense, whereas I am very much focused on our present circumstances.
I didn't mean to suggest you were stuck in the past. You're right, Ambassador.
Let's focus on the future.
Most diplomatic choice of words.
We're all curious about the future, Ambassador. Specifically, what exactly are we getting involved in here?
We got the basics from Starfleet. Two formerly peaceful neighbors are now on the brink of war.
Indeed, and the tension between them grows fiercer by the hour. Lydia and Hotari. Ylidians are the more advanced species. They made first contact with the Hotari over a century ago. This is Tau, the Hotari moon. It is rich in dilithium, and for decades, the Hotari and the Illidians have shared a mining operation there. The Illidians provide the technological resources, while the Hotari have served as the labor force. The stability of that arrangement was the source of their peace, until recently. The Hotari have suddenly and forcefully seized control of the mining operations and expelled the Illidians from their system.
Guess they weren't content with just being
That is
labor.
the official story, as told by the Hotari when they requested Federation mediation. But the details remain scant. Communications between all parties have been limited by the
Has there been
Ionic
retaliation?
Have the Illidians retaliated against the Hotari? Or taken any action against them?
Surprisingly, they have not yet responded in kind. And they were open to a Federation presence. But it is unlikely the relatively primitive Hotari forces would stand a chance against the Illidian fleet in open war. Left unchecked, this conflict will result in more bloodshed, which is what we are here to prevent.
And the dilithium trade hangs in the balance.
Clearly, the Hotari have been exploited in this relationship.
Maybe we can persuade them peace is the more profitable alternative for
Just
everyone.
yeah, not
They
as
both
like a
profited
servant
from the
species.
And for the Hotari, something is better than nothing. Peace is our objective, after all.
That is correct.
Yeah, I agree.
If we could convince them, it would restore the peace. But we would need the Hotari to accept a difficult compromise.
Made all the more difficult by the emotions flaring on both sides, no doubt.
Neither the Illidians or the Hotari are members of the Federation, so we can't make them do anything.
There is an additional complicating factor I should mention. In the past, the Federation has relied on the Illidians as a source of dilithium.
So we have a bias towards the Lydians.
That certainly changes things.
Federation sources its dilithium from a lot of places.
So we won't be
And
trusted.
this is one of them.
That means the Hotari have no reason to trust us.
I wouldn't go that far, Commander.
We are completely neutral in this matter, on neither one side nor the other. Any suggestion otherwise would compromise our position.
Yeah, but it
Given the
depends.
Federation's
Oh, he didn't
involvement
like
in
that.
the Iridium-dilithium trade, Captain Solano and I must make every effort to appear neutral in these negotiations.
What worries me is if this whole thing unravels, and we're at the mercy of the storm at less than full strength.
We can't let it come to that.
Considering what the Ion Storm has done to our ship, and the Ambassador's shuttle, we have to assume the Illidian fleet has had problems with it as well. This recent surge in the energy disturbance temporarily levels the playing field.
Commander Westbrook is correct. The energy anomalies around the Hotari systems have been noted in the past. But
It's a perfect
they've never been
storm.
observed on the orders of magnitude we have seen in recent weeks.
That may answer why the Hotari were able to strike back after so long. They finally had an opportunity, and they took it.
That would also explain the Illidians' restraint.
And reason to learn as much about the energy anomaly as we can while we are here. We do not want to be caught at a disadvantage of our own. So I trust we understand our circumstances.
We're operating on a strict timetable here, and we're going to be leaving for the negotiations shortly. Commander Westbrook, I want you to leverage our systems to investigate the anomaly from here while we're gone.
Aye, Captain.
Thank you all.
Dismissed.
I want to speak to both of you privately.
Ambassador Spock, I'd like to make a formal introduction. My first officer, Commander Jara Rydek.
Commander, as you are aware, there are limits to what Captain Solano and I can do in our official capacity as representatives of the Federation. But someone in an unofficial capacity, your first officer, for example, would not be bound by those restrictions. Commander Rydek could ingratiate herself to certain parties behind the scenes, where they may be more candid in revealing information that could lead to a resolution.
She certainly goes her own way. Maybe that helps in this case. It would be unconventional, but I'm not opposed to it.
I'd be honored.
I'm honored to be included in the negotiation process.
You're not just included. You are instrumental.
Well, I
He doesn't like that either. Seriously,
more luck finding out
I
what
can't.
really happened.
I can't impress Spock at all as her.
The fate of the negotiations, the interests of the Federation, and the prospect for peace may very well depend on it.
Navigational complexities. That was a short little up.
Mr. Diaz, I understand you have already discussed the warp drive failure with Ambassador Spock?
I have.
It is imperative that the Ambassador's shuttle be flight ready. I need you both to ascertain the root cause of the system failures he encountered.
I'm surprised, Commander. I thought you would have wanted to work on Ambassador Spock's shuttle yourself.
I respect the Ambassador and his many accomplishments, but I do not derive any satisfaction from interacting with his shuttle as if it were somehow transubstantiated through its association with him. Especially when I have the entirety of this starship to concern myself with.
It is just a normal shuttle.
I am not the chief engineer of this shuttlecraft.
When you look at it logically, yes, it is just a shuttle. No different than any of the others.
There is plenty that is different about it, and that is what you are to investigate. But please limit your findings to observable scientific phenomena.
We'll try to restrain ourselves.
Then I will leave you to it. Make note of any abnormalities in your report. Carry on.
One nice thing
He didn't
about
like that
Vulcans,
either. Okay, I have a hard
Chobot
time
is
with
the
the
only person
Vulcans.
who didn't look at this and treat me like I was something to pity. Doc says I should get used to it.
Makes you look tough, actually.
Doesn't mean I want to be reminded of it every minute of the day.
Hey, you won't get pity from me. I think it makes you look tough. As tough as you really are, that is.
And that makes you sound pretty smart.
She was
I
tough.
might
She was
need
the one
to
that
save me from
wanted me to go
myself next
first.
time, though. Come on. Let's get to the bottom of
That
this.
wasn't the time to argue. We both just need to go to the ladder as fast as possible. We didn't have to sit there and argue. She did not like that. Okay. I'm not doing very good at this now.
Ready to go?
All set. Let's run the diagnostic.
This is different.
So, I know about your talk with Miranda.
How do you know already?
She sent me a Priority 1 dispatch right after your conversation. I'm happy for you. Both of you.
Thanks.
But I'm only going to tell you this once. Don't screw this up. Because I would be very unhappy if you tried this out and then, I don't know, 6 weeks or 6 days later, I have to start splitting holidays between the two of you. All because things went south and you're not on speaking.
Oh, this is the thing I need to ban. Okay. Great. At least I could pause these. Wait. Why does it always want to do that? So I could check... Can I check what they view me as? Oh, I could read... I have to read what they say. Demonstrated loyalty, honesty, and integrity. That's good, okay. She was disappointed when we followed the orders. Okay, well, I mean, I had to choose one of the two. Notice the supportive captain. Notice noted Jera's humility when presented with the back channel mission. Wait, is that a good thing? Westbrook was impressed with leadership skills. Applauded the efforts to explain the situation. Well, I mean, it needed to be an informed decision. He was dismayed when I followed the orders, though. Remote was oppressed when disengaged with doping clamps. Appreciated the efforts, okay. Respected confidence in following orders, though he had conflicted feelings about. Impressed by the responsibility of the crew, but rather see her thinking independently. Yeah, but that's not. I did think independently, but you have to follow orders. That's the whole kind of point. Otherwise, he gets people dying. Ensign Calloway was grateful for Jar's acceptance. Okay. Yeah, and if he's impacted by his emotions, then he's unfit for command. We have to relieve him of the duty because the medical officer obviously is of the opinion that maybe he shouldn't be under command if he makes a stupid decision because of his seeking of glory. So that's what we need to watch for. Okay, Carter. Clever in his approach to appeasing her anger over his going first on the hull. Okay, that's not necessarily bad. Feelings, yeah. We're seeing where the relationship's going. Purely logical approach. Okay, so he liked that? And of course, Spock likes him. As a team player, yeah. Okay. Interesting. Ah, that's just annoying. I just okay, have to blow up my nose. Anyway, continuing.
That just isn't gonna work for me. And
Have some
I
faith.
know you'll respect that.
You really don't believe in me, huh?
It's not you.
I don't even know what that's about.
Just running the numbers, and things don't work out more often than they do. I like my friends, and I like our group. I don't want to lose that.
Neither do I.
Yeah,
Neither does she.
It's wrapping up.
Yeah, we're taking it
The relays along the primary
slow.
EPS are blown. The backup relays are all intact.
An EPS overload from the warp drive could cause that. But how did the shuttle end up dead in the water?
Huh. Well, maybe the ship's data recorder can tell us something. Here.
They were only about 8 minutes from their plotted warp point. No faults, just those warnings. What are they?
Okay, let's start at the bottom.
Subspace variance out of tolerance. What does that mean?
It means the main navigation array lost sight of space somehow.
Will the array going offline cause that?
Yes, but it should have also thrown a fault code.
The warp field became inverted suddenly.
I've seen this happen when the center warp coil cracks.
A cracked warp coil throws a fault code.
Still, we should take a look.
Warp cascade failure.
There was a complete warp cascade failure.
Wow. They're lucky the shuttle didn't turn inside out.
Makes me think the computer panicked on the warp field equation.
Any one of these failures should have thrown a fault.
If it was caused by a system failure.
None of this caused the relays to blow. Roll forward to when that happened.
Yes, ma'am.
So here, they take a moment to get their bearings and they attempt to re-engage the warp drive.
There. That's the relays blowing.
And look, there's another warp system alert.
They're all the same. Subspace variance out of tolerance, or warp inversions. Finally, there's a complete warp cascade failure.
Then it's one of two things. Either a warp coil is cracked, or the navigation array is offline.
That makes sense.
Divide and conquer. You want to check the warp coils or the navigation array? I'll check the other.
Warp coil sounds
Let's
fun.
not overcomplicate this. One of these systems is likely broken.
I'll check the nacelles for a cracked coil.
Okay, tricorder. Scan glowing objects. You must be close to scan them. Some objects. Watch the frame if you're too far away. Okay. Where are the nacelles on the shuttle? Those things were the nacelles. Oh, they're inside. Out of range. I have no idea what I'm doing. This is not a very good tutorial. I can't see anything from this side. Why am I having so much difficulty with the friggin' tricorder? I can't get any closer. Do I need to get it in frame completely? Oh, why is that not working from this side? Deep scan, okay. Q and E. The switch modes. Trigger or blink if there's an object to find. All objects hold right mouse. Static fields. No deviations detected. Routine maintenance to repair microabrasion from neutrino interactions. Coils. No fractures detected. That is nothing on it? It's biological, no wonder.
I checked every coil on the port nacelle for imbalances.
You need to try on
If
the other
coil
side?
in either engine were cracked, I would have detected it. So, it must be the navigation array.
What about the other side?
Except it's not. Checked and double-checked.
Well, the readings don't lie.
Here comes the security detail for the way team.
Hey.
I'm not here.
We're escorting the negotiating team to the surface as soon as they come down from the
Sure,
bridge.
you won't be under
I don't want to
combat?
interrupt some important work. I was just hoping to see you before I go.
You'll definitely be in combat.
The captain and the others will be here any minute now. Should be an interesting ride down to the surface.
You have the important job. I mean, always time for you.
Come on, I'm never too busy to make time for you.
That's not true.
No. But I am glad you came by.
No, that's more accurate.
I gotta be precise with you, huh?
Hey, Maris. Aren't these those button pushers you're always hanging out with?
And you're the phaser jockeys we always beat in Parisi squares, right?
All aboard for Hotari.
That another one of the captain's railroad things?
Gotta be. I just usually zone out by the time he gets to the whole, steam engines were the warp drives of their day part. Catch y'all later.
You don't want to miss your train.
We didn't find our anomaly though. That's kind of not good.
Not gonna lie, I'd rather not leave right now.
Come back safe.
More important things on my mind.
Do me a favor. Come back safe.
Deal. Be seeing you.
We don't even know what's wrong with the shuttle.
Etzelar de Diaz. If you could float back down to reality, we still have a ways to go. All right, where were we?
So, the warp coils in the navigation array are fine, but the nav computer doesn't seem to think so.
I'm out of ideas short of field stripping the shuttle from bow to stern.
You wanna take this out of the shuttle and throw it on the bench?
Oh, real hands-on maintenance. I like it. Okay, the nav computer is
Oh,
patched
so that's
into
not the one they took. Good.
The ship's computer can double-check our work. If the shuttle's nav computer is putting out false data, we'll know it.
Let's run through the shuttle's logs again.
Running now.
And there's the logs, or the
Same.
anomalies.
Warp field inversion and a cascade failure. However, the Resolute computer doesn't show the same subspace variance.
We're in the same conditions that the shuttle was in when it failed. Why wouldn't the ship's computer get a matching result?
What if the subspace variance was a momentary occurrence?
That's a possibility, and it would explain why the simulation under our current sensor readings failed to reproduce the issue.
But a subspace anomaly strong enough to cause a warp field collapse would leave graviton ripples for days.
Let's run with the momentary subspace variance theory for now. Roll forward to the shuttle's attempt to re-engage the warp drive. We need the conditions of space around the shuttle at the moment of warp failure.
Resuming simulation.
That one again.
Error in warp field calculation. Cochrane formula variables are out of range.
That right there. Take the shuttle sensor data from that moment.
Computer, why did the warp field calculation fail?
Warp field pressure returned non-orthogonal. Results are undefined.
That doesn't help.
Wait, what if we use a different ship?
Put the Resolute into the simulation instead of the shuttle.
Yeah, it should warp just fine. Unless... Computer, run the simulation with the Resolute.
Resolute simulated.
Computer, give me manual control on the warp power.
Static field intensity, warp 1.1. 1.2. 1.3. Warp pressure is destabilizing. Error in warp field calculation. The warp drive has experienced a system-wide cascade failure. Warp field collapsed. Subspace variance is out of tolerance. Cochrane formula results are undefined.
Bingo.
What-o?
The same moment when the shuttle failed to warp, so did the ship. Whatever happened to the shuttle just happened to us. The Resolute will not sustain warp.
We can't leave Hotari space.
Interesting. Isn't it centered? Isn't it just disturbance centered from here? We need to get to that heart of the problem, I think.
Ambassador Spock, Captain Solano, welcome to Hotari. We are honored you've come. My name is Tylos Altaris, Minister of Diplomatic Affairs.
The honor is ours, and this is Commander Jara Rydick, first officer aboard the USS Resolute. You'll find she has a keen mind, and unique insight into the dynamics between the Hotari and the Illidians.
Nice to meet you.
It's very nice to meet you.
Likewise, I hope...
These must be the representatives of the mighty Federation. The reigning authority in the galaxy. Or so we've been led to believe. Whether that's true or not remains to be seen. But, either way, we're grateful you've made the time to come to our little corner of the universe.
And you are?
This is Galvin, and this is Citron, the heroes of the revolt in the mines.
You got quite the scars from it.
Let's hope this is the last time we ever have to come here.
If you'll excuse me.
They don't seem very friendly, do they?
I think we're about to begin.
Did you hear the arrogance from that guy?
Yeah, no kidding.
I don't know what we're walking into here, but that guy was something.
Keep an open mind for a moment.
That may be true. But let's keep an open mind.
Remember,
going into
neutrality.
negotiations. Hopefully he's just one voice amongst many.
Then let's hope he's the outlier.
The Hotari have invited us as their guests, so we must show them the proper respect.
I don't know Hotari culture, though, and I don't think I got that memo. Oh, he didn't do anything? He didn't bow or anything? Oh, we were invited, yeah, you gotta bow. I'm supposed to be the social one, right? They have to do their roles. I'm supposed to be making friends with everyone.
Ambassador Spock, welcome to Hotari Prime.
The honor is mine, Your Majesty.
That the Federation would send one of their most respected representatives is not only an honor to the Hotari people and their queen, but a recognition of our stature and importance.
Let's get on with it, shall we? With all due respect to the Federation and their ambassador, they have no authority here. We are not members of their alliance. We are not subject to their rule, nor yours. We demand the immediate return of all mining operations to Illidian control, as it has been for centuries and will be for centuries more. That has always been our understanding.
That understanding has changed.
Then you invite war!
And if you cannot remain silent, you will be silenced. But his point is well taken. What is the Federation's interest in this matter? Perhaps you would have us trade one oppressor for another?
The Federation remains neutral. Our only interest is the peaceful resolution of this conflict. We are here at your request, Your Majesty.
For now.
I'm trying to keep an open mind here, but it's not easy. I thought they wanted us here.
She's tough.
Was there something you wanted to say, Captain?
Oh, no. My apologies.
I didn't even get to say it.
And what about the Kobliad?
She's not
She
part
can
of...
speak for herself, can't she? Then let her.
Okay, what are my options here? Hopefully I have my infusion.
Now then, what is your name?
Commander Jara Rydick, Your Majesty.
Being a Kobliad, you would know better than anyone. Your people suffered brutal treatment at the hands of the Cardassians. Their injustice towards the Kobliad is as unimaginable as it is unforgiving.
Just Cardassian doing Cardassian things.
Not unlike how we have been treated by the Alidians.
As much as they'd have you believe they are the victims here, remember it was the Hotari who attacked us. Hundreds of innocent Alidians were slaughtered without mercy in those mines.
The blood is on their hands, not ours.
Quiet! If after all the Kobliad suffered, you finally had the chance to right that wrong, to get out from under their control, would you take it? Or would you negotiate a peace?
Depends if peace is an option. I would seek peace at first.
There is no remedy for what the Kobliad suffered. And I fear who we might have become in pursuit of it. There is no justice if the oppressed become the oppressor. So I would willingly accept a peaceful resolution if it were offered. That is the real opportunity.
I think Spock like
Perhaps, Commander Rydak. Perhaps. Unfortunately, that was not the case, was it?
No, it was not.
Peace is often elusive to those who need it most. The Federation is the most powerful, most advanced alliance in the galaxy. It's widely known we have an abundance of dilithium in our mines. And it's in your interest to secure a steady
See, they know about it. That's why I brought up the Devil's Advocate.
Ambassador Spock would have us believe you're here as a neutral party in the interest.
See, I called that right. I called that right.
So why are you really here? I want the truth, not your Federation rhetoric.
We want peace.
As Ambassador Spock has said, we've come seeking a peaceful resolution to this conflict, and have no interest in your dilithium.
I'm not nearly as naive as you must say.
I didn't want to say that.
The Federation has done business with the Alidians for decades, which makes me question your motives.
What they haven't said, but cannot
They both
deny
like that.
is a simple truth. The dilithium trade would not and will no longer exist without Alidian involvement. We created it for the benefit of everyone, especially the Hotari. We've given them warp technology. We've let them share in the profits. We've made their lives infinitely better than before dilithium was discovered. All of that goes away if the Federation turns a blind eye to their treachery.
That is enough of your lies! The Hotari are quite capable of running the mines. We've done so for centuries. So tell me, who deserves control of the dilithium trade and the mines on Tau? Who should the Federation recognize? The Hotari or the Alidians?
I have to choose.
Only be one or the other, not both.
I mean, the Hotari does belong to you. It's your
If
planet.
I have to choose only one,
your moon.
then it would have to be the Hotari.
Well said. How could the just
It is their
and
minds.
wise Federation
It's theirs.
make any
Yeah.
other choice?
This is an outrage. The Federation has lost all credibility.
The mines are ours. Lydia will not be deterred. We will take back our mines by any means necessary.
And you will see more blood spilled.
I am more than willing to address your concerns, Your Majesty. Yours as well, Representative. But I suggest we could have a more productive conversation with a smaller group. Perhaps only the most essential representatives.
I suppose there is some sense to that. I hope we meet again, Jara Ryder.
Why can't there just be peace? You know, I guess the Lydians want it, but they really don't have
Spock and I will cover everything
any claim
on the
to it.
diplomatic front. You make nice with the locals and see if you can get some answers. We need to find out why the Hotari are so willing to risk war. What happened in those mines?
Yeah, they didn't really give us much info to go on. Obviously, they said that they were lying about the blood being on. Nice goggles. That's a. Oh, I guess you probably took that from the Lydians.
The captain and ambassador have it handled. I've got my own mission.
I do indeed. Beautiful place. Sidron.
Commander, I'm glad you've chosen to side with the Hotari. I knew the Federation would see through the Elydians' baseless claims and protect the interests of my people.
The Lydians aren't going away.
Even though the Hotari should have control of the mines, some of the Elydian claims are still valid.
There you're wrong, but we can agree to disagree.
I assume you were there the day the mines were seized from the Elydians.
Not seized. Reclaimed. And restored to their rightful owners. Yes, I was there. We had to be decisive. Before the Elydians could even realize their worst nightmares upon them.
Did you have help?
Did you have help from someone else?
Hotari stands alone against the Elydian forces. We don't need help from anyone. They respect one thing above all else, and that is force. The greater the force, the more certain the outcome. Any talk of making peace is just that, and worth little without the strength to secure it. Which makes me wonder about your ship, the Resolute. Undoubtedly the Federation's finest
No, I wouldn't go so that far, but
ready
sure.
to contend with anything the Elydians might have in store. Or is that not true?
It's a science vessel,
Maybe I
actually.
misjudged it.
It wasn't designed as a warship. More for scientific research and exploration.
But the Federation must have ships designed.
Not really.
Technically, they're Starfleet ships representing the Federation. But yes.
I see.
Sidron.
A pleasure meeting you, Commander. I'm sure we'll cross paths again.
So I talked to them and they sort of disappear? What's this over here? Water.
Soothing.
Okay. Let's talk with Tylus.
Commander Rydek, I'm encouraged to see the Federation supporting my people. I'm afraid of what might happen without your help.
I mean, the Lydians were wrong.
The Elydians have no right to your land. It was clear which side was more deserving of our recognition.
It's so different to have someone on our side.
Well, you did ask for our help.
So
That's what the
unusual
Federation
times, to
does.
say the
They
least.
allow people to
Much is
ask for
changing.
help.
I saw you speaking with Sidron, our national hero. I'm curious, what did he say?
He seems to be of the opinion that negotiating for peace is a waste of time.
Because force is the only blunt instrument he understands. He's a miner, not a diplomat.
Apparently not.
For the first time in our history, the Hotari have the upper hand.
For the moment.
We see ourselves as strong instead of downtrodden. New voices have risen up. Old voices shouted down. Galvin and Sidron have become national heroes. Now, they have the Queen's ear. Better or worse, depending on your perspective.
You don't trust them?
I get the sense you don't exactly trust them.
I don't trust their instincts, which are leading us to war. My fear has been that the Elydians will launch an attack and crush us. You've seen their starship, no doubt. They could have retaken the mines whenever they wanted to, but it never happened. And as strange as this may sound, I'd almost say they're afraid. I just don't know what they're afraid of. It's still the same bluster and bravado you would expect from
The
them.
Ion Storm.
But it has no teeth. Like they're afraid of what might happen.
Do you think it has something to do with the Ion Storm? Right now, it's stronger than ever, isn't it?
It's entirely possible. I'm not a scientist, but I do know the storm has knocked out all kinds of systems. So maybe the Elydians weren't willing to risk their ships, given all the interference. Since the day of the revolt, Galvin has seized control of the mines and restricted all access. No one's allowed without his personal authorization. And they've taken over a section of the palace with just as much secrecy and security. I'm told it could be something they brought back from the mines. I've made inquiries, but everyone pretends it doesn't exist.
Have any idea what it is?
What do you think it is?
I've heard rumors it's some sort of ancient artifact, but I haven't seen it myself.
How can we know?
I'd better see what's happening.
Do you think you can find out what they're hiding? I need to see proof of something before I can make my case to the Federation.
I can try, but even if I found it, I might not know what to make of it.
Take this. You can use it to capture whatever you find, and then send it to me.
Thank you. I will let you know what I find. And I look forward to our meeting again.
Only one left to talk
Sorry,
to?
I couldn't help but notice you were speaking with the Hotari this whole time. I figured in the interest of fairness, I should offer another
I was going to talk to you next, don't worry. Of course. Best for last, right?
I'm probably not telling you anything you don't already know, but these negotiations rely on the Federation's neutrality, as does any hope you might have for a supply of dilithium in the future. So, why you would choose to side with the Hotari escapes me.
It is their land.
Without Elydian involvement, there is no dilithium trade. But clearly, you weren't aware.
We remain neutral. Yeah.
We are and will remain completely neutral. Our only interest is the peaceful resolution to this conflict.
As is ours. Of course, the question is, at what price?
You have to compromise at some point.
Major Salit Arminta, Special Attaché, Elydian Armed Forces. Pleasure to meet you, Commander. I have my issues with the Hotari, but I have to give them some credit. They know how to seize an opportunity. Inciting an uprising the same day as a massive, once-in-a-lifetime ion storm.
Our assumption was that this storm was just an anomaly.
Yes, a very convenient anomaly. At least that was what we were told. Of course, I wasn't there.
You sound skeptical.
But
I
who am
wonder
I
if
to
that's
say
the artifact they found is creating it.
You sound skeptical.
I bet you that's what it is.
Well, the official story is that it was the storm that enabled the revolt. How else do a bunch of unarmed, unorganized miners seize control of an entire moon, much less thousands of mines? But I've talked to people who were there. They tell a different story. They say they're lucky to have escaped with their lives. That it was more than just the storm. That somehow the miners were able to harness the energy from the storm.
Sounds about right, yeah.
I know it sounds crazy. I'm not even sure I believe it myself. But that's what they said.
That helps explain it.
You just answered your own question. How do a group of miners do something that in theory can't be done? That's how. Harnessing the storm.
But even if it's true, how does that even happen?
You tell me.
I'm not going to tell him the answer. Yeah.
If you'll excuse me, Commander Ryder.
Trying to be neutral here as much as possible. Can I talk to any of you? Apparently not. Guess I need to go inside. Can I just open it up? Yeah.
Well, that was a disaster.
What happened?
The Hotari refused to concede anything, so the Elydians stormed out.
The Hotari did not invite us here as peacekeepers. I hope your efforts were more fruitful than ours.
They invite us here to be on their side, that's what they did. But we want peace. That's really what we want.
Gravitational harmonics failing to resolve. Warp bubble stability degrading. Increase output to maximum.
Oh, I have to actually do it.
Increasing warp output to maximum.
It's happening again.
It is evident that presently, the Resolute cannot achieve warp propulsion.
Since our diagnostics rule out any problems with our warp systems or anything about the ship, the problem appears to be the fabric of space itself.
Space itself?
Mm-hmm.
You're saying something about this region of space prevents warp travel?
The ion storm
prevents it or can't sustain it.
It's probably the storm.
That appears to be the case.
The storm didn't stop us from leaving space dock and traveling here. But could it still be causing this interference with warp travel?
We must follow sound investigatory principles. Do not let an assumed conclusion drive your analysis.
Sometimes we need a little inspired thinking, Mr. Chovak. Captain Solano is on his way back from the negotiations, and I want to have some answers for him when he gets here.
Indeed. Given the facts at hand, we may be able to deploy subspace probes around the ship to construct a clear picture of the phenomenon.
Around the ship. I'll prep a shuttle.
Well, I don't have a good stopping point. This just keeps going, which is awesome. I need to stop at some point.
I'm setting up a waypoint at a distance roughly corresponding to the edge of our warp field. When we get there, I'll deploy the first probe.
Oh, I could shuttle pilot. Turn, ascend, descend, okay. Storm pusher shuttle around. Stay focused and maintain course. Oh, so I'm supposed to stay in this path? Except why is the path right towards...
The systems are calibrated to receive the probe's readings. We are standing by to reproduce the warp field collapse
right.
after the first
Why is that
probe
going right
deployed.
through?
Thank you, Mr. Chovak. We'll be in position shortly.
And, Mr. Diaz, do take care in piloting the shuttlecraft. Now is not the time to indulge in the human penchant for joyriding.
Chovak probably isn't such a fun guy to work for, huh?
It's not so bad. You just...
Nah, Lieutenant Commander Chovak's not so bad. You know, once you get used to him.
Yeah, you need to get used to him.
And, I've learned a lot working under him.
Why am I talking and piloting at the same
Feeling
time?
I'm
This
going
is...
to have to work harder. Be a political animal like
You just gotta be positive.
This new first officer coming aboard.
Wish there was a boost. This is kind of slow for my tastes. We're there,
This is far
okay.
enough.
No problem.
Transporting the first probe into position.
transporter still works, which is surprising, with all this ion storm.
Westbrook here. The first probe is deployed.
Understood. We are reading it. We are about to replay the simulation.
Problem?
I'm just not getting any traction with her. Commander Rydek. She rejected my plan to use a deflector pulse against the storm surge. She didn't listen to me when you were out on the hull and I was trying to make it safer for you. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the new XO. I'm sure she's a fine officer, even if we don't see eye to eye. But she didn't go through what the rest of us did. You know that. And it's hard
Give her
to
a
figure out why
chance.
she'd be the one Solano chose instead of, well, one of us.
I've heard some good things. You should at least give her a chance.
I'll take that under advisement.
Test is running. Warp field collapse in 3, 2, 1, mark.
Whoa. All right, that is definitely a problem with the fabric of space. We need to get another probe out there.
More flying, I'm sure.
With 2 points of data, the Resolute and the probe, we've managed to get an interference pattern. I'm setting a waypoint to a particularly strong area of interference. We'll deploy the second probe there. Listen, I'm gonna give you a piece of advice I wish someone had given me. Make sure you're never just one thing. And don't get so focused on what's in front of your face that you lose sight of the big picture. Before
Why are we getting
Rydek,
blown around?
the captain pulled me into his ready room and told me he didn't think I had the people skills to be first officer. What a load of crap. I mean,
Sounds like
said that about
politics.
Chobak. Sure.
Is that why you're being so friendly to me? Politics?
That would be clever, but I think you give me more credit than the captain does. You're all right, Diaz. And you've got potential. You're a capable engineer. You're good in the field. Keep up the good work, and who knows? A solid jack of all departments like you could be Commander-in-Chief of Starfleet one day. Hell, Admiral Jellicoe started as a shuttle pilot. And there are places to go.
Can you get me a promotion?
Of course, if you get an officer's commission, they'll put you on another ship.
I love it. So put me up for promotion. I'm ready for my next challenge.
Well, I think you're going to have to prove that to your boss, Chobak, first. He's the one who has to put you up for consideration. If I were first officer, it would be different.
I can do that.
Well, then I'll just have to change Commander Chobak's mind. I'll work hard and better, and he won't be able to ignore it.
You've got grit. I'll give you that.
I'm almost there. There we go. Last little checkpoint. I'm blown
Here.
around.
This is close enough. Stop the engines. Deploying the probe. Westbrook to Commander Chobak. We're ready for another sampling of data.
Very good. Running the simulation again. Warp field collapse in 3, 2, 1, mark.
There it is again.
I saw it. It seems to be directional.
Well, what about the scans? Anything?
One more probe?
Here's the readings in relation to our local space. We've got the Resolute, Otari Prime, and the probes.
All this interference is overloading the sensor buffers. We're gonna have to triangulate the sensors manually. We got something.
These markers indicate peaks in the gravimetric interference patterns.
Let's see if I can find some more. Hold up. This is coming from the moon.
Of course it is.
Beam that blocks warp travel.
Aimed right at us.
Someone is doing this intentionally. I don't know how they're doing it. This is like nothing I've
Why
ever
is the
seen.
question?
Why would they be doing this? We came here to help these people. And now we're getting hit by some warp-killing weapon?
Now, look here. Current readings of the ion storm.
These concentrations, they line up with the interference pattern. The storm and this beam, they're
Of course
coming
they
from the same
are.
place.
That's what they found.
Whatever petty local conflict brought us here.
It's keeping us here now.
Just a small part of something much
No
bigger.
kidding. We knew that all along. Once they said that they found the device, yeah, I knew exactly that's what was causing everything.
Presently, we don't have an explanation for how they're doing this.
Suspicions.
One thing is clear. This is no fluke.
Thank you, Mr. Westbrook. I want a full briefing when I'm back on board. Solano out.
I think that's a good time to end.
A targeted weapon that inhibits warp travel. Coming from the moon Tau.
That would explain the difficulties my shuttle encountered.
Okay, let's see where we are before he ends. Admired deft diplomacy under pressure while being questioned by the Queen. Commander Westbrook was impressed by Jara's... Okay. Yeah, okay, we already read that. So he approved, so Chovak approved of Jara. Calloway is grateful for the guidance. Okay. Yeah, that's way about the beginning. Carter. Okay, we didn't have the last one. Yeah, that's going to be it. So have a good night, good day, whatever it is for you, and see you same time, same place tomorrow for some more. No idea how long this is going to take, but it shouldn't take, yeah, maybe 2-3 episodes more. I got a lot done today, feels like. So we'll see. But thanks for watching, and see you next time.